It's coffee break. Congratulations, it's Halloween.
Yeah. Hooray! The best holiday. I will die on this hill.
I,
I just love the aesthetic of everything.
honestly, it's the tryhards. The tryhards freak, like, they just ruin a lot of things.
Yes.
So, like, they always have to be in costume.
The costume thing is my least favorite element of Halloween.
There's a lot of bad costumes.
It's also like, it's either you get like a really nice costume, but it's a waste of money because you're only wearing it for one night.
That's the other problem.
Or you get like a lame costume, and then no one likes it because it's lame.
Yeah.
So.
You only give candy out to kids and freaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's the freaks giving out the candy to the kids. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a night of mischief sometimes. I don't know if it's... I haven't seen much mischief on Halloween.
No, not really.
And I never did any as a kid. I never, like, ran out and threw pumpkins or anything.
Yeah, no pranking or nothing.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? By the time when I was older and at the end of my trick-or-treating years, I was going out trick-or-treating around, like, 10 o'clock, so there wasn't much left.
Yeah.
But that was because I was doing a haunted house.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. It's that weird, like, conundrum of, like, how old is too old? And lots of people would be like, you're never too old. You know, don't give up on that childhood spirit. But there is a point where it's like, I don't know, I'm 14 now. I feel like I could just buy my own candy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only 21, but...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think maybe Halloween would be more interesting to me if I was experiencing it with a child.
Yes, their magic and wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I would also say Christmas time would be the better time to have that experience.
The thing I really like isn't actually anything to do with Halloween specifically.
You like the aesthetic of it.
I like fall, I like witches, I like monsters.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
There we go. There's the other thing. That's the only time of year we can celebrate these things.
Yeah, because it's so annoying because everyone will be like, don't do it too soon because everyone's afraid of starting holidays too early.
Yep.
Thanksgiving aesthetic is similar, but like so grosser, you know? It's really reliant on like foods and browns, not nice oranges like Halloween. Brown like leaves, and I don't like it. It feels like...
I've never heard anyone describe Thanksgiving as brown.
How would you describe...
First of all, I'd say it's white.
It's like all the food is like the turkey's brown, the gravy's brown.
You still have the fall aesthetic. Yeah, you're not going to get black.
It also, but that's what I want. Orange and black and purple and green. Yeah.
Yeah, the purple and green, where did that come from?
I don't... It must have been...
A Disney thing?
Probably, like some cartoon or iconic element.
Because purple is poison, and green is magic, usually evil magic.
Yeah, like the witch from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And then you can't put her in, like, black in certain cartoons or whatever, because black doesn't read well. So they would usually go with blue or purple. Like Maleficent, for example. She usually gets shown in purple if you watch House of Mouse or whatever.
What?
Mickey Mouse's House of Mouse? Did you never watch this cartoon? It was like a weird...
No. I know House of Mouse. There was... But you're saying Maleficent showed up in there?
She was there sometimes.
Did Mickey grab a gun and start firing?
The villains were welcome.
What?
Hades was there.
I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, there was an episode where they took over.
They're all 3D rendered. That early, like, 3D, isn't it?
No. You must be thinking of a different thing. I mean, maybe in the later years of House of Mouse. But no, it was just like variety sketch, like kind of Merry Melodies-esque thing, but like under the umbrella of Mickey hosting a sort of...
Were they like Chubby?
No. I'll show it to you.
This is... Okay, it sounds like a fever dream.
I don't even know if it's streaming
You sure this wasn't a video game?
No, it was real. I watched too much of it for how not amazing it was.
Okay, yeah. So you like the fall aesthetic?
Yes. It also doesn't help that I just don't like any of the food for Thanksgiving, except for biscuits and deviled eggs. Other than that, none of it's good.
Really? Green bean casserole?
If it's done well...
Mashed potatoes and gravy?
It can be done... If they're not horrible, but they are inoffensive.
Cheese and crackers?
The thing is, also, no one in my family can cook. So even something that's good, like deviled eggs, can become horrible if someone who doesn't know how to friggin' cook is handling them.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you had that experience.
Yeah, I just don't like Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Halloween just feels like a party night.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick this one straight off. Sorry about the 5-minute rant there. The Catholic Church, yes, the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
has released its own anime character called Lucy.
Lucy? Is that how it's pronounced?
Pretty sure it's Lucy.
I haven't seen
Because
any.
wouldn't it be Italian?
I'm not sure.
And that's... You think it would be Lus?
No, I don't know how to pronounce Italian.
Lucchese.
Luce.
Leche.
Luke.
Okay. So they got some elements of her right to make her look like an anime character.
Yeah.
And I understand the cross,
Yes, there is a cross.
which makes it easier to identify her. She's also covered head to toe.
Yeah. I think she has blue hair, which
Yep.
is fascinating. I kind of love her. It's just so weird. I also think the person who designs Hello Kitty designed her.
Okay.
It looks very similar to their style. I'm unsure. I know they can be hired. They can come up with these things for
Yeah.
other people. I don't know.
Well, it's weird that this is the approach the church has decided to take.
I mean,
Aren't there, like, better things to be worried about than making your own anime character?
they've wasted a lot of money on a lot of weird things, like commercials for football.
That's not the church. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the church. Okay. Yeah, it's just weird. What do they plan? What is the intentions? And what is going on with that walking stick? I thought it was going to be more like reminiscent, because when I first saw her,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is that going to be like Joseph or who's the other guy?
He really did. Moses?
Moses. Yes, the guy who has a stick.
I'm pretty sure it's a herding staff. They're big on like sheep iconography.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that is.
Okay.
I don't quote me. I'm not sure of the specifics.
Do you think it's going to bring in more followers?
I don't think no,
Yeah.
but I think people will like take the character for their own fun.
Let's see what they can do to her.
It got people talking, I suppose.
Yeah.
And for once, it wasn't a scandal. Although there are some weird Christians who are offended by it, I guess.
Whatever. I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, that's on my. You all can handle that over there.
Okay, Fantastic Beasts has been finally officially canceled.
Hooray!
You're probably like, yeah, duh, they weren't making another movie and the last one was terrible.
It was so bad.
A few months ago, I was on IMDb and I was trying to look up, and I might have already said this story.
Weren't you looking up like Eddie Redmayne or something like that?
No, I was looking at upcoming films because I was just curious if there was something I wanted to watch. And there was a placeholder for Fantastic Beasts 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they making it?
They'll do that a lot, where they'll like have it there, but they never actually plan on making anything.
Yeah, and it was supposed to come out this year. And I was like, they're not working on anything. And yeah, it doesn't come to my surprise that they're like, it's done. What I did find out a while back, why that was interesting, was David Yates, who directed the first. He directed all three of them, actually.
Yeah.
The first one was meant to just be a standalone film.
And you can tell.
And he was even surprised that there was more.
Man, they got worse and worse.
Yes.
The second one's probably the worst. Woof. Not only...
Secrets of Dumbledore?
I don't remember what any of them were
No,
called.
Crimes of Grindelwald. Yeah, where they go into the arena and they fight the Sith Lords.
Yeah, it was when they're like, we could stop World War II, but we won't.
Yes, I remember that.
That sure was a decision.
I kind of liked the third one. I thought it was fun, but it's not... I don't know. It's not a story I want to just keep watching over and over again.
Yeah, the third one's a victim of the writing, of the subpar writing of the second one.
Mm-hmm. It has to do a lot to fix it.
A lot of those really dumb characters who, like, didn't go anywhere.
Now, you were saying there's a rumor that Warner Brothers Discovery wants to buy the Wizarding World?
Well, I think because they know J.K. Rowling is a plague on the whole thing, basically. That like people don't want to engage with it because they don't like her, and that will hurt marketing and stuff.
Yep.
But if they bought it off of her, then
They support anti-trans women.
yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a thing. It's like, well, you're still giving her all that money.
Yeah.
But you can really, really feel how they really wish times were how they used to be, where Harry Potter was like the biggest thing ever.
Yep.
We were in a store, one of them, Walmart, Target, something. We were in a
Target, where all the costumes were still there.
And yeah, there's all this Harry Potter stuff that's just sitting untouched on a shelf. And I remember back like 10 years ago, those were the first things flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
And I bet Warner Brothers got a lot of money that way, and they really want to do that again.
Well, it's a very old story. The books have been out for years, decade. Mm-hmm. And she's done nothing more to it.
No.
I mean, there's The Cursed Child, which was actually a play.
Any addendum she's added has ruined elements of the story.
Yep.
Like how wizards would just poop themselves. Did you know that?
Okay.
And then they would like apparate it away. And everyone's like, yeah, we could have just had them using toilets, you know? I don't think this is adding anything.
That's really disgusting.
Yes.
Maybe that's why she has mold in her house.
Yeah.
She's just pooping. And she's like, away. And then she actually is so mentally ill, she thinks it's gone.
Because the mold, it's like a never-ending cycle of itself.
Yeah. Just, oh, that's disgusting. Anyways, Jumanji 3 is set to release in 2026. The main cast, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Dwayne the Pebble Johnson,
Yep.
and Karen.
And Gamora, not Gamora, the other one. The robot sister.
Nebula.
Nebula.
I can't remember her name. Karen Gillian?
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all in talks to return. What I was interested about was I was like, Jumanji 3 came out like years ago.
Yeah, but no one calls it that.
Yeah, it's
No
like
one counts.
Next Level or something like that.
No one counts the first original Robin Williams movie.
I do.
I do. That's the best one.
And isn't the first... Now you got me calling it the first one when it's not.
I don't think any of them are numbered, technically, is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not Jumanji 1.
So then technically this would be Jumanji 4.
Technically, yes.
Okay.
But what are you going to do?
So they're working to do that. Way too late? Why would I want another Jumanji?
Did anybody even watch the second one?
I'm sure a lot of people did. We didn't.
I heard nothing about it, was the thing. Rhys Darby was in it.
I think it was...
He was in the first one, too.
2018 when that one came out?
Yeah, it's been, like, way too long between all of them.
Yeah. 7 years?
You're just watching them slowly, not even slowly, just age rapidly between films.
Mm-hmm. Especially Kevin Hart and Jack Black. Mm-hmm. They are looking very old.
They get a lot of gray in their hair.
Yep. The Wayans brothers are returning for Scary Movie 6.
I'm excited.
This is the first time in, I think, 26 years.
I like the Scary Movie series.
So much that you forgot about Scary Movie 5.
I didn't keep track of the numbers.
Okay.
I didn't watch them in order.
Pretty sure it's called Scary Movie 5.
Is I like the Wayans brothers. They're really funny.
Mm-hmm.
All the Wayneses. Hell yeah.
I want to see how their comedy's going to either adapt to today's perspectives, or if they're just gonna go for it and do their old school style of comedy.
I hope a combo. Like they just do a bunch of different stuff. What year did the last one come out?
With them in it?
Yeah.
It's Scary Movie 2. 2002?
When year did the last Scary Movie come out? The fifth one.
2013?
Damn. A lot of scary movies have come out since then.
A lot of horror films.
Yes, sorry.
You can't.
A lot of new horror franchises have.
Yeah.
Tons of untapped potential. We got the animatronics phase nowadays.
Yep.
The haunted doll thing
Have
really
you seen
came back.
the Universal Monsters animatronics for this year's haunted house?
No. Are they cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're going... They can get the facial feature stuff going. Mm-hmm. So it's really actually like emoting at you, and you're like, I don't like that.
Crazy. Cool.
But it's cool. We're getting that much better with our robotics. Here's my question. Because everybody wants to see Scary Movie 6.
Yes.
And I'm sure the kids are going to want to watch it too. Because they never had one of these.
Yeah. they're just like this legend, the legend of comedy.
There's a ton of movies to reference, right? It Follows would be a hilarious concept.
Invisible Man would be funny.
Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
Megan,
Malignant. Babadook.
Like all the Jordan Peele movies that came out.
Get Out,
like Get
Us,
Out,
Nope.
Us. Yep.
Yeah, there's so many fun options. So this week's question is, I'm gonna let you. I don't know. I'll figure out how I'm gonna phrase it.
Yeah.
And either it's gonna be like a vote or just write what you want in there.
But like, what do you want to see?
Yeah. What horror movie do you want to be ripped off for this one?
I'm excited. I really can't wait. I want it to be. I want it to be good so bad.
Okay, 28 years later, which is the sequel to 28 weeks later. I almost said days.
Which is the sequel to 28 Days Later.
And if you haven't caught on, this is a movie that a lot of fans, they love the first two movies, and they've been waiting years for this one. And,
28 years.
Yeah. And now they're finally making it, and Ralph Fiennes, who's in it,
Yeah.
he started talking about the movie, and he was like, oh, this is a trilogy of films? Which I was like, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be just one. And he was like, we've already filmed the first two.
Well, I mean, at least it's happening.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, you already have two movies just sitting in there?
Isn't this the one with the crazies? Is that what they're called?
No,
What are they called?
they're called zombies.
Oh, it's not the...
The Crazies is the one with the crazies.
Oh, man. I'm embarrassed. Every single stupid zombie thing has like a smart little nickname for their zombos. Like when you were watching Daryl Dixon,
Yeah.
they said Walker, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what they call them. They just say zombie.
They I don't know why. There's just like a weird taboo. You can't say zombie.
It was someone started the trend, and then everyone went, "Oh, that's cool," and then they did too.
Yes, you just never address it by its name. How are you gonna understand it? They don't. They just die. Just okay. Every story. That's all that happened.
That's so true.
I was thinking about zombie films, and I was like, God, they just don't make them anymore. And I was like, it's actually a good thing because they sucked.
We had so many for a while there, and they were all so bad.
They were.
Like, I Am Legend. Did you know that the book is about vampires?
I read the book.
I didn't.
The book is oh my. If you haven't read the book, just go read the book because it's one of the greatest like horror fiction books I've ever read. Mm-hmm. And it gets scary at parts, right? Because of the vampires waiting outside, calling him by his name. But when you read the book and you know what the movie is, you kind of want to punch something really hard.
They were like, oh, the zombies are happening now, so we'll just change them to zombies.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's not even the same story. I was like, why did you even call it I Am Legend?
That was like the last of the movie, because that used to be like the thing where they would have a name, but it was like Resident Evil, where it's nothing like its source material. I think I Am Legend really was like the last of that kind of thing happening.
No, they kept making Resident Evil movies. Then they made Monster Hunter.
I'll never remember the disgust. I was working one time, and one of my coworkers was like, yeah, my friend is a baker, and they made this Resident Evil themed cake, and they showed me a picture, and I went, ew, who the hell is Alice? And they went, she's from Resident Evil. I'm like, no, she fucking isn't.
Yeah. So the 28 weeks later.
Yeah.
Or
Years
later. 2 movies already in the pipeline with a third one coming. That's kind of cool.
I mean, cool. Hopefully they're good.
And the zombies, the gimmick with them was that they would pin you down and then vomit onto you.
Oh, ew. Yeah, that's why I didn't watch those ones. I don't like that.
Okay, and then live action Outlast
Outlast?
movie is in the works.
Which one's Outlast again?
Outlast is that first person survival horror where you have your camera and he keeps running out of batteries.
It's such the game. You just can't keep the batteries.
Yeah.
There's been rumors about this for a while. I'm into it.
Why?
See.
It's just... Do you remember we were just talking about zombies?
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie Quarantine?
Yeah.
which was based on a European one, which is the found footage style. That's all you're doing. It's just another found footage.
But Outlast has like a lot of weird lore. Like it's super lore heavy, but because the game is like horribly clunky and has like 2 or 3 levels that are far too long for what they're worth, it's so hard to find all the lore. So I think this is the opportunity to do that. Could be fun. I'd be into it.
Okay. I think it just sounds like a cheaply made thing. Also, why Outlast? Just do Amnesia.
Because Outlast is better? Amnesia's so old.
They still make Amnesia.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Bunker came out this year.
What?
I haven't played Amnesia. I want to.
So that was like the beginning of YouTube Let's Players.
Was Amnesia.
Way back. That was like the very beginning. All of them started with Amnesia for some reason.
Okay. And then we've got Marvel.
Yeah.
You remember last week when I said I don't want to talk about Marvel?
Well, too late. Oh well.
They did this. And this is not a surprise to me. Mm-hmm. Because I had remembered, like 2 days ago, I read an article. And it was just like a throwaway article. But they were like, in 2025 to 2026, the MCU will have so much TV content.
Yeah.
It will stack up from year to year, from beginning to end.
Crazy, because they really had a lot of nothing like this year.
Yeah, that's why they had to do that. Because now they're going to have their movies in the pipeline, right? And then they're going to have all their shows stacked up. They got a lot coming in.
Yeah, doubling down, I see.
So, What If, Season 3, December of this year.
Yeah.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, January 25th of next year.
Which I don't know what this is.
This is his freshman year.
Oh, it's not a movie?
No.
Okay. Sure. Alright.
No, I think it's his freshman year in high school.
Is it live action?
No, it's all animated.
Okay.
And Tom Holland is not reprising his role. He was supposed to.
Okay. Who is voicing him?
I don't know, probably one of your buddies. Daredevil Born Again, March 4th, 2025. No, I did not watch the trailer. I'm so sick of this. I already know it's coming on March 4th. We knew this for months already. That's not news.
And they'll show you a trailer where everything's exactly the same, except the clips are rearranged in a slightly different order.
Yep.
And maybe there's 1 or 2 new clips and like 1 or 2 new voice lines.
And don't forget, the music drops at different moments.
Yeah. There's slightly less boins.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not excited for Daredevil. It's just, it's not news, guys. Ironheart?
Finally.
Yeah, I feel like, when was Wakanda?
Like 3 years ago?
This should have been already out.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of this stuff is like, you've missed your opportunity, guys. But whatever.
Eyes of Wakanda shortly after that.
Yeah.
Which I think is about the female warriors.
If they probably will, like, one will immediately domino into the next, because one's in June, the next one's in August. So, assuming it has 8 episodes, it'll go through and, like, lead into it. Presumably.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. And then, well, no, you got it. Marvel Zombies, October of next year.
Speaking of those zombos.
Yeah. And then Wonder Man, December next year.
What's Wonder Man? I don't know what that is even.
From what I gathered, I don't know him either.
Yeah.
He's almost like indestructible, but he was a bad guy and he fought the Avengers because they had wronged him and his family. And then they defeated him and he was reborn as a hero.
Okay.
And then he joined the Avengers.
Okay. Cool? Question mark?
I think he can like shoot out powerful things.
Wonder Man is such a terrible name.
It is.
Like, it does not have that ring that Wonder Woman would have.
You know, I try to think of what is the coolest, worst, like, superheroes out there.
Yeah. Like, Condiment Man is up there.
Well, I think of, like...
Animal, vegetable, mineral man.
Because Wonder Man sounds like there would be, like, Wonder Girl.
Yeah, like Wonder Boy.
Yeah, something like that, right? And I just think, like, Hawk and Dove.
Yeah.
They're pretty goofy.
Yeah.
And then, Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I think. I'm just like, these are, like, C to D rate guys.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
We're on the Wikipedia.
Superhuman strength, speed, agility, stamina, and reflexes. Ionic energy physiology.
Yawn.
Enhanced vision and hearing. Electromagnetic manipulation.
Oh, so he's just like a super soldier, basically.
But he has ionic energy manipulation.
Yeah.
Energy enhanced strike.
Just say he's strong.
They
Guys,
did. They said he was superhuman strength.
Then it's the same. Whatever.
Virtually
Invulnerability?
Yeah.
Virtual invulnerability. Shape-shifting, healing factor, size alteration. So he can just do whatever
teleport in.
And immortality.
But next, and last, he can fly.
It sounds like he just can do whatever they want him to do.
Yeah. Alright.
Catch-all boy.
What is he gonna do for us?
I have no idea. It's not till December of next year, so I'm not gonna like hold my breath or anything. Maybe we'll see something, but I don't know. I would need to see a trailer first, but I'm not all that interested right off the bat.
Yeah, they wanted to do this character for Guardians of Galaxy Volume 2.
We've kind of passed that a while ago.
Yeah, and now they're like, oh, we'll just bring it back around to him.
Sure.
So this is the old James Gunn idea that they're trying to revive. That's what that is. That's yeah.
They're looking at what he's doing with DC, and they're already like, do something. Do what he's doing.
I don't know if they'd be actually in competition with each other.
I would hope so. Push themselves to be better, to make cooler stuff.
Well, I would love a friendly like rivalry to do that stuff.
More Sonic and Mario, less Sonic and Eggman.
Great analogy.
But
Sonic and Knuckles.
What do you mean?
I have a feeling Knuckles never really liked Sonic.
No.
Yeah, see? So yeah, Wonder Man, Marvel, great.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, last week's question. God of War, live action or fully animated? 100% fully animated. And nice. I don't think there's any argument.
Because even if you do live action, there'll be so much CG, it might as well be animated anyway.
It's also why you've already animated him. Reuse the assets.
Exactly. Think smarter, not harder. Jeez Louise.
And then, box office trolls.
A box office trolls.
God, a lot of clicking again. Number 1, I don't know why, but it's Venom, Last Dance.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Wow, good for you.
No one likes it.
No.
But everybody went to go see it. Well,
I guess because no one's seeing anything else. Because everything else is so old, they don't... If they wanted to watch it, they did.
Yeah. Number 2, Smile 2.
Nice, good for them.
It's just holding steady, which makes sense. Number 3, The Wild Robot.
Because I feel like we're going to see Wild Robot here for a while.
Until Moana or, I think, Wicked. Wicked's probably going to knock a lot of these ones off.
That's soon. That's real soon.
Really soon.
Yeah.
Number 4, just Conclave.
Okay. Sure.
Number 5, We Live in Time. Yes, we do. Number 6, Terrifier 3.
Good for them.
Number 7, Beetlejuice.
Wow. Still hanging on.
Number 8, Anora.
Anora. It's whatever.
Number 9, Piece by Piece.
Okay.
And number 10, Transformers 1.
Good for them. Still clinging on to the top 10. Good job, guys.
Joker's number 12, because it sucks.
It's gonna hit streaming soon, right? Surely it will.
I can just buy it now.
Yeah. I don't understand why things aren't hitting streaming the same time. You can, like...
Because they want you to buy it. Like, Deadpool and Wolverine won't stream until November 12th.
I feel like you'll get more money just convincing people to get your streaming service.
Yeah, that was the point, and then they just lost sight of that because no one was... They don't know what they're doing.
They so don't, and it's so disappointing because it looks so obvious.
Your streaming service should be used as an archive for your company's work.
Yeah.
I should be able to go into... Disney's the best with this. I should go in there, right, and find Hercules.
Yes.
And I can rewatch it, right? But it is also, because of streaming... It could be where you play your TV channels.
Yeah.
Instead of hiding them behind a crazy
like an
cable
extra
bill.
like paywall
Yeah.
for some weird reason.
Disney owns so many channels. I should be able to go to Disney, Disney Plus, and I could just watch
like
AMC or ABC. Sorry,
yeah.
or I could watch Disney XD.
And like they keep raising their prices. But it's like, if yours was cheaper, more people would get it because it's the cheaper option.
And they're like, no, we want to take more money from you.
It's so backwards. They have it so backwards.
Yeah.
Archaic old men in charge who don't get what they're doing.
Yeah, so that just bumps me out. Tomb Raider on Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode.
Did you?
I did.
Was it good?
No.
Damn.
I hate the animation. I know, I'm very picky, but I hate animation like that. It's lazily drawn, in my opinion, and when you have hard black outlines like that on your characters, they feel way too cartoony to me.
I understand what you're saying.
There was moments where it was trying really hard to be, like, action forward and cool in that sense of, like, just stylized action. She was waving around one of those weapons where she had, like, a dagger at the end of a rope.
Okay, yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of what was it? Castlevania.
It did look like, at a glance, I was like, is this the Castlevania team?
But not nearly as much detail
yeah.
and effort put in. You don't have those cool coloring flashes and yeah. And the dialogue. The story, okay, I get it. It's her origins.
Yeah.
We can move past that.
Always have to do an origin story.
Yeah.
You can't just do the middle.
Well, in case you didn't know who she was, which, I don't know. It was the bad guy at the end.
Yeah.
The storm was coming in, and his eyes grow green, and the captain was like, oh, storm's coming in. And he's like, no, it's not a storm. It's the beginning of an era of chaos.
Yes, it's so goofy.
And then clenches his fist, and credits. And I was just like, I don't think this was made for adults, even though there is blood.
Yeah.
And there's, like, weird grievings and stuff. I think it's made for teenagers and kids watching Netflix.
Which isn't bad, but not what we're here for.
Yeah, not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was liked enough that they greenlit it for a second season.
Good for them.
And then they're also working on a live action remake
Why?
as a television series for Amazon.
Okay, sure.
So this could be a potential thing where, there could be different Tomb Raiders going off at the same time.
A lot of Laura.
Why?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what any of them. It's the same thing with, like, Horizon, where it's like it has some success, and they're like, put it on everything. Make it Legos. Do live action.
Horizon was supposed to have a TV series.
Yeah.
And that fell apart.
Well, it looks like a thing that would be very hard to do as a TV series.
I don't know. Couldn't you draw that?
I mean, I guess you could draw it. I thought you meant live action, sorry. Animated, I think they could do it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, live action, that's going to be way too expensive. And if you were to do it, you probably wouldn't get it right because you wouldn't have the budget in time.
It'd be the same problem with God of War. Exactly.
Yep. The Penguin.
The Penguin. Yep.
Oh, okay. I really enjoyed this episode. I feel like we got back to what I really thought this show was supposed to be, and less about Sophia. I'm so sick and tired of it.
Like, I understand that we have to set up our villains.
Dude, it took us to the 6th episode to begin the story.
It doesn't feel like Penguins. It's not as bad as, like, Knuckles, but it's a bit like Knuckles, where it's like, oh, his name may be in the title, but he's not the main character.
No.
He's not the one we focus on. This one definitely seemed to have more of an idea of what it wanted to do with the episode. Less wandering, but still, Oz isn't doing things. He just babbles at people, and then Sophia or Victor are the ones who actually do stuff throughout the episode.
No, he attacked that one councilman.
Oh, he did do that one time.
And the lights turned on at the end.
Yep.
He's expanding his operations.
He
brought in the other gangs together so that they can fight the Falcone Calamari group.
Maroney. I'm gonna be honest. Tom Clancy That's not his name. That's his name. What's his name? Tom Clancy?
Clancy Brown?
Kent Clancy Brown.
Jesus, Tom Clancy.
He's so good. He's too dang good for only being remembered for being Mr. Krabs. He's such a good actor.
Is he Italian?
I have no idea. He's huge.
Yeah, but every time I look at him, I'm like, why are you a Don? I'm so confused. I don't know. I just thought I'd get a more stereotypical Italian-looking guy than Mr. Krabs.
That was the guy that was Sophia's brother that he killed in the first episode.
Yeah. Antonio.
It's me, Mr. Italian Man.
I do like it, and I'm excited to see how we're going to wrap it up. We only have 2 episodes left.
Yeah. It's about what I expected it was going to be.
Yeah, it sucks. You feel like this episode was really where they were like, and then the final fight begins. And then someone was like, how do we get to that episode, though?
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess we'll make 4 really long episodes.
I feel like it wasn't originally going to be a movie.
No.
I definitely feel like it was going to be shorter. Like, it was only going to be 4 episodes.
It might have.
And they stretched it out to be much longer, and you can feel that. You can feel that there's some stretching unnecessarily.
It did feel painful at times, but hopefully we'll move on to a better thing.
Yes.
Agatha All Along.
Yeah.
Now, as of when you're hearing this, it's already fully done.
Yes.
We've probably already watched all of it or not. Mm-hmm. But we're just going to review the third to last episode.
Yeah.
Because that's all we've seen as of this.
The tarot card episode.
Yes. I love that their deck matched them. Mm-hmm. That was cool.
I thought all the visually, this was a very cool episode. Like, the cinematography and the directing, very neat. Not what we usually see with Marvel stuff. Doing something different with framing and stuff like that.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about?
They're all like bus shots.
No, I mean, like, when she was doing her, like, tarot card thing, and we were seeing the matching of the card and the character she was talking about. And also her, like, falling in the beginning. Or this one part where she says, I'm falling, and then the character pivots to the other side from behind another character, and she goes, I will fall. I don't know, I thought it was cool. I thought it looked better than most Marvel shows, because it was slightly more unique.
Okay. I didn't feel any of that.
Well,
It was a fun story. The Salem 7? They were useless.
yeah.
And we found out about who Rio really is. Which, I mean, that kind of makes sense, I guess. There are no rules for Death not to be on the road.
Yes. It's weird. She should hang out with, Hela.
Hela's dead.
Yeah, well, you know, they probably met.
Also, if Death is real, then that means Deadpool would meet her, right?
Probably.
Isn't that one of the big stories where Deadpool falls in love with Death?
That'd be crazy.
I thought that was the thing. And then him and Thanos have to fight each other?
I have no idea.
Because they both love Death so much?
I never thought about it.
I think I'm right about that. Anyways.
And what if season 3?
No, I think that's like an actual storyline.
That could be cool.
All the witches have died, except for Agatha, Wiccan,
Yeah.
and...
Jennifer? Jen?
Is it Jen? Okay.
Yeah.
Jen's gotta go.
Yes.
Agatha has to go, too.
Her, task was the first one they did. So it's crazy she's lived this long.
She might make it all the way. I feel like there's gonna be one. And it has to be Wiccan.
Yeah, he definitely will live.
And we'll see him somewhere later on.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool, unique.
One of the coolest things about it is if you know the lore and stories of witches, even to like the horrible acts they did to prove that people were witches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of references in the show in each episode. Wherever they could fit it in, they find a way to do it. And I just really appreciate that. Because when the 7 came in, they started coming in their familiar forms.
Yeah.
And I was like, Oh, that is so cool. Even the fox. The fox. So many people don't really think about that one. That's a very weird one because foxes are clever.
Yeah, they're tricksters.
But they're also now considered super cute.
They are.
Well, back then, during the 1700s, they were a pest.
Yes.
So it's kind of cool that they did add that.
It is. I really do like it.
Each of the characters that they became was also pretty cool and iconic to keep it within the magical realm.
Yeah.
I know you have your issue with Maleficent.
Yeah, because she's not a witch. She's a dark fairy, which annoyed me, but whatever.
Also known as a witch.
Dark fairies aren't witches. They're completely different.
Okay.
I also didn't get what Jen was dressed as. Was it the evil queen from Snow White?
Yes.
In her like hag form.
Yep.
I would not call her a witch either. I would call her an alchemist, which there's that semantics.
Oh my god. Okay. Did you figure out who Aggie is?
Yeah, she was pretty obvious.
Okay. I thought it was cool. I was like, I wonder if we had the other surviving members, who would they be?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it.
It would be fun. That's I really like that gimmick of their tasks, that each one looks different and they get different outfits for it too.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
It also helped the end credits make a little more sense when you're watching them. You're like, oh, that's why you're referencing that.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ball Daima?
Diama? We're saying it wrong.
We've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
It's taking way too long, though.
It's hard not to like Dragon Ball.
I know. And I know it's a canon story.
It's Akira Toriyama likes drawing them as small beans.
Yes.
And wanted an excuse to do that.
And it's fun to see Goku and Vegeta tiny. I love Goku got his stick back.
Yeah.
He didn't have that in GT. So I love that basically we get to have Kid Goku again.
Yeah. No Nimbus, though, which is a shame.
He doesn't need Nimbus, and they even made a reference to Nimbus.
Yeah, but Nimbus is cool. I like Nimbus.
Doesn't he let Nimbus, like his kids, play on Nimbus?
Yeah, which is so cute. Oh my god.
How irresponsible of him. It's Goku.
He could catch them. He has instant transmission.
I think he's just fast enough to get there.
Maybe.
The bad guy, he's wacky and goofy. He's very Akira Toriyama. Kind of like younger comic book artist, Dr. Slump or Dragon Ball era.
Peel-off-esque.
Yeah, Garlic, just kind of a throwaway guy. A fun little Kai stuff going on because we get to learn more about his family.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know.
Yeah. I didn't know.
The weird description of how the fusion earrings don't work to the stomach acids of Boo.
I was like, you know what? Sure. Why not?
I was like, I know that's what happened. We didn't have to explain that.
I mean, I'm glad they brought it up because I would have definitely been thinking about it.
What would you have in common?
Well, because we watched, in one of the episodes of Super, we saw their fused form talking to another Kai, and I would have been like, where'd that fused form guy go?
I thought this was supposed to take place, and I know it's a what if, but it's supposed to take place between Z and Super.
I don't know. I am unsure. It's hard to tell.
Was Beerus there?
No, I don't think so.
So then...
I don't know. I don't know how old Kid Trunks and Goten are in the Super series, because Trunks turned 9 at the beginning of this, and I don't know how old he was beforehand.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited. I don't know how long it's gonna run.
Using the age of a minor character, minor child character.
Wasn't there a weird gimmick where they're turn them into infants, and what about their brains? And he's like, no, just turn them into infants.
Yeah.
So they're still as intelligent as they were at 9, and I think he's 7.
I think Piccolo even says, we're not really kids, we're just small.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see what comes of that. What we do in the shadows, I feel like I keep saying that phrase and it's killing me.
Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows?
No.
It's so long.
No, I'm excited for that.
Oh.
Like, duh, I'm talking about it. What we do in the shadows, we got, the first 3 episodes?
Oh, yeah.
This is the final season.
I'm not loving it so far. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just, like, one joke was really funny. It's
Oh
when he
my
was pretending
God.
to be a janitor and he just started slapping the counter with his mop.
I was thinking about it the other day and I was just starting to crack up because I was like, I don't think I would ever think to do that as an actor.
I bet they all broke. No, it's just like, you know, the antics they're getting up to. You can, like, feel it's the final season. It's a lot of, like, we'll just do whatever.
Yeah. Like, they brought a whole, like, Frankenstein monster to life.
Yeah, they introduced another roommate who became, I'm pretty sure, the villain.
If there is even a villain. Because the Baron was supposed to kill them, and now... Yeah, there's something going on with the Baron. The milking process there was just weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, though.
It's funny, but you're also like, in concept, that's really disgusting.
No, I'm glad it's the last season. I could feel they were running out of steam.
Yeah. I'm surprised it made it this far.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's an older show. It's a pre-pandemic show.
It is surprisingly old.
And it's never been as funny as, I think, season 3.
I think it definitely peaked in season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3 and 4 were really cool. Because 4 was the one... No.
It's 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yep,
Those
yep,
were
yep.
the best seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Laszlo, there's a fucking ghost at the door.
What about... You missed one on your list.
Oh, Only Murders in the Building.
This season,
It's over.
It wrapped.
It sucked. It was
Yeah.
a piss poor mystery. You could have solved it if you just sat there and thought about it long enough, but then you would have been like, no, that's terrible writing.
No,
Nope, it's what they did.
I figured it out because I was like, oh, they introduced that character and he seemed kind of important, but then we never went back to him, so it's probably that guy. And I was right. He was like the beginning narrator for an episode, but then he didn't get to do anything substantial in his episode.
Yep.
And I was thinking back on that, and I was like, oh, he's probably the killer.
So he's a failed stuntman who dreams of being a writer.
Mm-hmm.
But then he says something about his childhood trauma and starts talking about his dad. You're not a writer, you're a killer. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, Dad, I'm a writer. And then I wrote this script. And then he's like straight up with an assault rifle with scope and everything. He's doing his tactical stuff. And I was like, that's a weird like throwaway line that actually meant something, where you find out he's supposed to be a like expert.
A marksman? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a marksman. He knew how to get that shot.
It was weird. There were so many characters in this season that our killer was painfully underdeveloped.
Yeah.
I think it was an attempt to make you less suspicious of him, but he really needed a lot more screen time.
Yeah.
Especially compared to, there's just so many new characters, and a lot of them did not really add up to much of anything, except for random one-episode red herrings here and there.
You see the brothers sisters at the end?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you remember when they were villains like 6 episodes ago?
The whole shtick with Steve Martin's character, Martin Short's character, with marrying Loretta. And I'm like, wait, this plot is going nowhere. Everything with his character is just like turning its wheels. It's not doing anything.
I love the BS excuse of why she can't be in the next season is because she's filming a movie in New Zealand and he wanted to go with her. And she's like, we've never been a normal couple, so why would we start now?
Yeah.
And you need your friends so that you can do the next season.
It's also, I was glad they remembered that both of those characters have sons. At the very end, they showed up to walk her down the aisle. And I was like, oh, their sons actually showed up. Do you remember that? Did you recognize them when they showed up?
I recognized her son.
Yeah, the other one was, I'd never remember the character's name. It's Charles, Mabel,
and Chuck.
Anyway, yeah, it was his son, which I was like, where's he been this whole time? No one remembered.
Putnam.
Yeah. Putnam.
Oliver.
Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver. It's just so badly written.
And it's such it's not a Deus Ex Machina, but having Jan just show up to kill the guy to save the day.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing.
I don't feel like we're supposed to be the demographic for the show.
I'm not sure who the demographic
I've
is.
also noticed that Selena Gomez was barely in this season for no reason.
Yeah, she was like, I'm doing a lot of detective work. And then she would like walk off stage to do her detective work.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of the old guys
It was just the two of them.
bantering, comedying at each other.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think we can do much more of the show.
Hopefully the next season is over.
Yeah, hopefully either next season's the last season or they get one more. It's just like with What We Do in the Shadows. 5, I think, is the limit.
And then 6 is a little too far, yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a point where the sun starts to set on these shows. And the longer you go on, X-Files, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, just a few examples where you're like, oh, you could have just ended right there. And then they kept going. X-Files is a unique one.
Friends it stops being good as soon as Chandler proposes to Monica. The season after that, all downhill.
I that's what I loved about that show. Because that moment where he proposes is stupidly magical. Mm-hmm. Lots of emotion. And I even got swept up in it. I was like, damn, I know why people like this show. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, that is one hell of a high note to end it on.
And then you have like 3
You have to
more.
wait. You have to wait 1 year. And then you get to find out, like, yes, let's see the wedding. And it's just more fucking Ross.
Yeah. Oh, that's also when Ross really reaches his like most obnoxious.
Also, Ross being in Goosebumps 2 makes me very uninterested in Goosebumps 2.
We totally forgot to talk about this.
I thought we did.
We might have. Yeah, Goosebumps season 2 is gonna happen. There was a trailer. There was a shot, and I was just looking at my phone. I wasn't like listening to it, and for a moment I was like, wait, did they bring back all of the original kids? No,
They just look the same.
all look the same.
Yeah.
And this time it has David Schwimmer instead of Justin Long, which I'm gonna say downgrade.
Yeah.
I don't think David Schwimmer is a terrible actor.
Justin Long's just a fun actor. He can always play the weird, wacky guys.
And he really gave it his all in the first season. So, oh well. This was another thing. I was disappointed. I only recognized like 2 books out of the trailer.
Oh, you can look it up what they're all based on.
Yeah, but like the first one, they went with really iconic ones that really jumped out at me. This time around, I only really recognized Stay Out of the Basement, and then they show you what the thing is in the trailer that's with the basement. Plants.
Okay, and then, like the other cryptid videos that I've done, I was going to spend the time here at the end to talk about them. Before that, anyone who doesn't want to hear it, you don't have to. We'll tell you what we're doing next week. What's going on with you?
The daily Ruby reviews are over. It's over. So now I'm just going to be working on something. That's the big Disney video, as I've referred to it.
It is huge.
I'm going to be streaming. I'll do another like hour or so of Fire Emblem, so that'll be fun.
Nice. For me, it will finally be Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yay!
I was in the spirit to do the Jersey Devil story, just because I was reading this book and I'm now into a different book, which is kind of adjacent to it.
Also, it's a thematic with the time.
Yep. And I was like, this was always on my list to get done, and I'm really happy that I got it done. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I really like it.
Nice.
I did some thorough researching in there.
You did.
You know, it's not too crazy. There's things that I do know that I think would have dragged on and been boring. But go ahead, check that out. Silent Hill. So what we're doing with Silent Hill, because I dropped those 3 episodes at once, and just the numbers aren't there for me. I'm going to slowly release one each day until I finish it, unless there's another video coming out. So starting November 1st, Silent Hill, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Dang, that's a lot of content.
Yes. And if we're not done with Silent Hill, Wednesday might have a Silent Hill before we get to Coffee Break 150.
Wow, 150.
And this is 149.
Ooh.
So I hope you guys have a great Halloween. If you're sticking around, stick around. The Jersey Devil. Mm-hmm. There's no way this thing exists.
Yeah?
Oh, no. No. I mean, I put a whole... And I didn't even intend to. I wanted to have fun because the way I wanted it all to go to is the hammerhead bat and be like, look, it could potentially be a creature that's been misidentified.
Which I made the thumbnail, and I did use the head of the hammerhead bat for it. It's the hammerhead bat's head on a kangaroo's body.
Yep.
With like a fruit bat's bat wings behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hammerhead bats are fruit bats, or frugitive? There's a word for just having a diet of fruits.
Yes.
The very rarely will they attack other animals.
Mm-hmm. Despite how large they are.
They are. They're massive. Oh, I did not describe how large they were.
Ugly creatures.
Also, the males are the ones that I'm showing off are all males because they have those flared out nostrils and features to their face.
Yeah.
The females are very like dull and smooth.
Weird.
They like the females almost look more horse faced than the males.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. They have a wingspan of 30 feet.
Gross. No.
Don't touch the man or any of the adults. They have parasites on them.
Yes.
They
don't touch bats in general.
Well, I think we learned that one, right?
I think there's a very famous monster that was kind of born out of the necessity of people to stop touching the bats.
And what else? They like to give out this screech, and it just drives the neighbors insane, right?
Yeah.
Or the people in Africa who have to deal with it. The likelihood of that bat coming over to North America, in the 1700s, is ridiculous.
Not impossible.
Okay, so what if they picked up somebody in Africa, right, docked there for a little bit, a bat got in.
Bat went looking for some veggies that they were...
He wouldn't have found food. They wouldn't have found food. They would have died on the voyage. It would have took like a month, 2 months to get across the Atlantic into North America.
It could have happened, but it's not likely.
No, it's not. Today, sure, maybe. But these stories go back so far. What is really happening there? It has to do with the fear of the devil. How heavily religious the early settlers of America were.
Like the moment you hear that it's like it was a real family.
Yes.
Immediately that screams to me political hit piece.
Yes.
Someone started rumors because they didn't like that family.
Yes.
So.
And so before we get to the family part, which I thought was the most coolest, we know that he serves as an allegory for don't go into the woods. Okay, the Pine Barrens, there's nothing wrong with them, except for you can't really grow anything there.
Also, it is, like, dangerous. There's, like, coyotes or whatever.
Yeah, there's wolves, bears. There's snakes in there.
The huge.
There's, there's, like, crystal clear lakes in it.
That's where all the bears and wolves and snakes go.
There's some really beautiful spots in it where you're like, oh, I could see why they would live in here, but you can't really do much. Their industry was not timber, believe it or not. Weird. Because they don't get good trees out there. They started making bricks. Oh. See, this is the stuff where I was like, I don't think I need to add this into the video. I could just talk about it. Because you can still go out there and find the old factories that these people used to work on. Now, as for the other apparitions that live in that forest, the black dog, that is a very popular apparition for British people, in which the early settlers were mostly predominantly. Oh my God, the statistic's crazy. It's almost 100% British. Yeah. And when they got here, they kept a lot of their culture. Right?
Makes sense.
Even some of these colonies were trying to remain British.
Yeah.
Not all colonies were like, we're free. Some of them were like, no, we're here for the Queen. We want to dominate.
Weird.
Which, yeah, that's what happened to the Roanoke. Croatoan. They wanted to be a British colony to help the motherland attack the Spaniards. That's why they started on that island.
I don't think it worked very well.
No, most of them died. Anyways.
Whoops.
So the black dog. Pirates were a thing, of course. That's another theory about Roanoke, is that that pirates might have shown up and killed them.
It could have happened.
It's right there on the Inlet Sea. The other story, the golden-haired girl crying by the sea. This is the Maiden in White. This story is everywhere,
Even,
all
like,
over the world.
Japan has their own variation.
Yep.
It was in an episode of Pokemon one time.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Just go to a lighthouse and they'll tell you the same story. I thought it was cute that sometimes the Jersey Devil's accompanying her.
I do love the idea of cryptids, like, hanging out.
Yep. Captain Kidd hanging out on the beach. Captain Kidd was an actual man. He was an American. He was found guilty of piracy, and he was hung twice.
Weird.
The first time, it did not, it broke,
Ooh,
right?
okay.
And he was fine, and the crowd was cheering, like, that's a sign from God, let him go. And there was a lot of dispute whether he was a bad guy or not. There's also dispute if he buried his treasure or not, right?
It's...
So the second time they got him.
Dang.
And then they put his body in one of those, like, iron metal things.
Oh.
So that when you sail by, they used it as a warning as the corpse was rotting. Yeah. Yeah, very lovely.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's weird, because when I know Captain Kidd from
One Piece?
Danny Phantom.
Oh, okay. Nice.
He was one of his ghosts that he fought, and he would make you act childish. I don't know if that gimmick stuck around or not. But
Because his name's Captain Kidd.
Well, he was a kid.
Oh.
Was also the thing.
Yeah, so Captain Kidd, he's very, very popular in at least North American ghost lore. Mm-hmm. I know there's stories of him like appearing also in the Caribbean, where he did some exploits. So I thought that was fun, and him walking with the Jersey Devil at night.
Yeah, cool. They all just hanging out with the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Jersey Devil sounds like a cool guy.
It just sounds like they just wanted to incorporate their own special cryptid into everything.
And then Bigfoot hangs out with my guy, too.
There are stories of Bigfoot and interdimensional portals, aliens, UFOs, light anomalies, UAPs, apparitions, poltergeists.
That works.
Everything going on in this forest. And I was like, we're not doing aliens.
Yeah.
I'm holding off on Sasquatch for a long time because there's a lot to be said there.
Yes.
And then we just don't talk about ghosts. And when we do, I say it as like an off thing, right? Mm-hmm. So there's another ghost, James Still. Now, James Still is also a real man. He was African American. He did become a doctor, and he died of a stroke. There are variations of the story that he was found and lynched in the woods. That is not true. That is very incorrect. And the other story is he died of a stroke. That's true.
Dang.
His family also practices medicine, and you can trace them, I think, 4 generations away from him.
Cool.
Still being in the area, still practicing medicine.
Wow.
And, he's known, the 2 variations of him, he's really known as the Black Doctor, which I felt very unflavored.
Yeah.
He'll either come up to you to try and help you because he's actually a good doctor.
Nice.
Or he comes after you because he wants revenge.
Yeah, that sounds like another political hit piece.
Yeah. And I was like, no, if he was real and he's chilling out there, yeah, he's still practicing, he's still caring. One of his most interesting things he said was for human beings to thrive, or human beings are much like plants, they need nutrients to thrive or something like that. It was
okay.
But you have to remember, this is like the 1800s where this guy's saying this.
Yeah, it's like when people are like, OMG, we should start washing our hands. And it's like, oh yeah, you needed to learn that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so weird, isn't it? To think something that's so simple and normal to us was very problematic back then. Mm-hmm. And then the last one we have is the stag, the white stag, which is also a very common British folklore about a white stag coming to your rescue or aid and to stop like the forces of evil or something bad happening.
Yeah. Cool.
Again, just strong British ties there.
They have their weird little things.
Yep.
I think they're neat.
So I pretty much explained everything that happened to the Leeds, how Daniel Lead, the father figure of the whole thing, had a book business. He was selling almanacs,
Back when almanacs were, like, important.
They were.
They really were.
He got into an actual... It wasn't him, it was Titan. Really did get into a competition with Benjamin Franklin. And Benjamin Franklin actually won.
Boo.
The Poor Richard's Almanac, right? That is the one that... It's weirdly still rooted in American culture.
Weird.
There's a thought, a different type of thought between our grandparents and us.
Yeah.
No. I got this wrong. When our grandparents were our age, their grandparents.
Okay.
Right? And it was this idea of that it came from the Poor Richard's Almanac. If you save up your money little at a time, at the end you'll be rich.
Yeah.
To you can strike gold now. But that saving of money, that comes from Benjamin Franklin teaching Americans how to be financially responsible. That's really the point of these almanacs, was to help you see and understand the world that you live in today.
Weird. And now we have, like, dude bros with podcasts giving terrible advice.
Yes. Or droning on about a story that nobody cares about.
Get this cryptocurrency.
Yep.
Blur.
I think it's funny that Benjamin Franklin would do that, but we also know he's kind of a prankster.
He's weird.
Yeah, well...
I was like, what else are you going to do with all your time? You can't just stand around and fly kites in storms all day.
He doesn't have a middle name.
No. I don't think that happened until more recently, comparatively.
His son has a middle name.
Weird.
So I was like, he knew to do that.
What was the point of middle names? Why do we do that?
Well, say...
Did we run out of names?
No, so say I got a guy named Barry. Right? Barry Jim.
Barry and Jim.
No, Barry Jim.
Oh, his last name is Jim?
Yes.
Okay.
Catch on, dude. Come on.
My B.
And then you got his son, Barry Jim. Junior. Right? And then the third and all that. You could also just differentiate, because sometimes, what if they didn't have a son? They had a daughter, and the daughter names her son after her father.
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate that? Right? So then you'd say Barry Bob Jim. And then you know that they are part of the lineage.
Horrible names. Barry Bob Jim.
Barry Bob Jim.
Old BBJ.
Stay away from him. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really sorry about poking a hole in it like that.
That's okay. That's gonna happen when you study.
And it doesn't make sense that they would describe it as a kangaroo at all.
I mean...
And in some depictions, even like the earliest depictions, he doesn't have claws.
Yeah.
Later on that came in. He was just a hooved horse.
What was fascinating to me was that the depiction of him in Wolf Among Us is totally inaccurate.
Yeah. He looks almost like a Wendigo souped up.
Yeah.
Which Wendigos wouldn't even look like that.
But I will say, he looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a cool stylized thing. So, happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Hope you guys have a good night. Be safe.
Be safe. Stay hydrated.
Yeah. Well, hydrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
just
important.
be safe.
Yeah, don't forget.
And when you wake up in the morning, remember, it's Christmas time.
Yeah. We're jumping straight to Christmas.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Guess who I am.
Who?
I'm in Penguin's gang now.
Nothing says hardcore gang like community beer.